That she had to go back home to the most dangerous state in the country for black people at this time, which is Mississippi. Ask some of us today, we might say it's still one of the most dangerous states in the country for black people. But yet and still, our ancestors are crying out to us saying that it is not over. Yes, they're tugging on me right now. They're tugging on me right now because they're saying to me, you better not speak to our people about the injustice of Mississippi. And failed to mention the brutality of what that little boy faced down in Money, Mississippi. A boy that was simply killed for wolf whistling at a white woman. His name was 14-year-old what?
Emmett Till.
Oh, he suffered. Yes, that baby suffered so much. So much so that his own mama didn't even recognize her own son. But what that mama did, y'all, was hold an open casket funeral, saying she wanted the world to know what Mississippi did to her own son. And the next thing you know, just a few months later, right over in Montgomery, Alabama, a quiet but determined woman decided to refuse to give up her seat on a bus. And her name was Mrs. Rosa Parks, which ignited the birth of the civil rights movement. And do you know the reason that she did? Do you know the reason that she would not just simply get up out of that seat? She said it simply, ladies and gentlemen. She said, I had Emmett Till on my mind that day. And I could not be moved from my seat.
Right.
Oh, what a time. But still they say to us, the fight is not over. See, God knew. He had seen our hope, our faith, our trust in Him from the prayers of so many good leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Of all of these great leaders like Reverend James Lawson. He spoke to us and He said it in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36. For you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what is promised. God was with us. Jesus was with us. The Holy Spirit was with us. Our ancestors were with us. And they still speak to each of us to this day. So when you get a moment, just take a breath. Tilt your head back. Close your eyes and call out to each of them. And ask them if you must know this to become true. And they will tell you as well, please remember, the fight is not over. So my brothers and sisters, I want you to get ready because there's still so much work to do. So we thank you, Miss Ella Baker. We thank you, Miss Victoria Gray. We thank you, Mr. James Meredith. We thank you, Mr. R. Reese Webb. We thank you, Mr. Stokely Carmichael. We thank you, Mr. Bob Moses, Rita Schwerner, not to mention Michael Schwerner. We thank you, Mr. James Chaney. We thank you, Andrew Goodman. We thank you, Mr. Simeon Wright. We thank you, Mr. Moses Wright. We thank you, Miss Dory Ladman. We thank you, Mr. Julius Harris. We thank you, Miss Letha Wilder.